everybody, Cypher Plays here, and today we are going to be doing a complete Hearthstone arena overview. There has been a lot of stuff added recently, so we do have a lot to get into. So the first thing I'm going to look at is recent card updates. So some cards have been buffed recently. We're going to be looking at the core set changes, so we're going to see what cards have been taken out and what cards have been added in, just so we have an idea what the discover pool is like when we get into it. Then I'm just going to go through what expansions are in now. I'm not going to go through the cards because otherwise this video would be like hours long, but it's just so you have an idea. We're going to look at the new keywords, so we're going to explain what they mean. And then finally we're going to get into the review of the Voyage to the Sunken City expansion. I'm very excited because I have had a little peek and there are some very scary cards on the horizon. But yeah, I'm sorry this is a little late. I was supposed to do this Saturday and then I was supposed to do it Monday and then I became unwell. So it's a little late, but let's get to it. So the first thing we're going to look at are the card updates. So the first cards that recently got buffed was Execute. So it used to be 2 mana, now it's 1 mana. I actually think this is nice. It used to be 1 mana in the past, and yeah, 2 mana just felt a bit off, but I think 1 mana is actually worth picking nowadays, so it's good, it's alright. Next card they buffed, and also added, by the way, to the core set is a Zera Drake. It used to be a 5 mana 4/4. Now it's going to be a 5 mana 4/5. So they've increased the health a little bit. I do prefer Big Ol' Whelp in comparison to this because I like the extra 1 attack, but I think it's still okay to pick. I think there are going to be better cards out there, unfortunately, even though I really do like a Zera Drake. Next card we have is Feast of Souls. This card is now going to be 1 mana instead of 2, so it's going to be cheaper to utilize. I still think there are better draw options out there, but with it being 1 mana, it actually makes it playable, so you don't feel so sad if you get it anymore. Next card we have is Equality. It used to be 3 mana, also used to be 4 mana. Now it's going to be 2 mana. I feel like it's gone full cycle, because I swear it used to be 2 mana ages ago, and then they kind of just, yeah, they can't make their mind up with Equality, I don't think. And then the last card we have is Nourish. So that used to be 6 mana. They've put it down to 5 mana. I'm pretty sure it used to be 5 mana once upon a time as well. It's like one of those cards that, again, is being buffed back and forth. Alrighty. So first thing I'm going to go through now are the cards that are leaving and the cards that are coming by. So on the left-hand side are going to be cards that are leaving, and the right hand side will be cards that are coming in. There is a lot of cards to go through. I'm just going to brief on what I think, but I'm going to try not to take too long. So first thing with Demon Hunter, we are losing Ashtung Battlelord. I'm a little sad because it's actually, with the lifesteal, I don't know why, but it just makes it really impactful in a class with Demon Hunter where you're usually pinging stuff off constantly. You lose so much health with that class, so I am going to miss that taunt a little bit. The weapon is really great as well. We don't usually see it that much because it's an epic, unless there's an epic bug, so may not be too missed because obviously we never really see it, but it's a really good weapon that we are losing there. And they've added Metamorphosis. I think this card's just a little slow for Arena. It's okay. Then we got Wrathscale Naga, and I put a dot on the cards that have been buffed because this card's been buffed as well. It's been given 2 health instead of 1, so that's nice. Flame Reaper is back. This is actually a really fun card. It's very heavy, like mana cost wise, but I remember it doing its job. The cleave effect is really handy, so yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing this card back, but because it's an epic, we're not going to see it much, so it's okay. Then we move on to Druid. We are losing Raven and Landscaping. I genuinely love these cards. I'm very sad to see these 2 cards go. Warden, Druid, and Ancient of War, however, especially these 2 cards, I think they were very lackluster. So I'm not too sad to see those go. However, they are adding to the core set Fandral. So our combined, so choose one cards are combined. I think it's okay, like, not always going to pull it off. Urban Scales I'm sad to see be added because it's kind of useless. Wrath and Living Roots are phenomenal cards though. So I'm not so sad about swapping Raven and Landscaping for these two cards because I love them. I love Wrath, but I especially love Living Roots. The flexibility of the card is just brilliant. Raptor's a really good free drop. Ancient of Law I think is way too expensive for the cost. If they made it like 1 mana cheaper maybe, I don't know, it's just understated and the effect isn't worth it for the cost, you know. Okay, so next one we're looking at is Hunter. So unfortunately, we are losing Web Spinner and a weapon for Hunter. And we are losing Bear Shark as well, which is actually a decent free. But Lock and Load and Hyena are leaving, so I'm fine with that. And then on the cards that are going to be added into Arena, we got Shore. Stat-wise, is actually just decent for a 4-mana card, even if you don't get the rush effect. But I think it's really good if your opponent can't clear it. You've got Animal Companion, fun cards, never know what you're going to get. You always pray for Huffer, but you always end up with Leok, right? And then we've got like the Huntress, it's just a solid free drop. And then we've got these free cards here, so Spring Pool, Mark Shop, Candle Shot. Beautiful cards for Hunter. I think they're going to do so much for Hunter in Arena. It's just like the little pings. Sometimes you just need that with Hunter. And the Mark Shot is a nicer bit of value, right? Then we go on to Mage. This card I'm most saddest about is Water Elemental. I think it's a fun card for Mage. It's really exceptional. Because being able to freeze minions and just last a little bit longer is great. And the stats are still relevant today. Mirror Entity. It's going to be weird not playing around Mirror Entity. I'm so used to playing around that card and getting paranoid. So yeah, I'm going to miss that card a lot. Fallen Hero. It was alright. Same with Drake, right? Drake was just like an ogre. So I'm not too sad to see these go. So the cards that are being added, however, Caligos is going to be 9 mana instead of 10. That's why I got the blue dot here to remind me. So that's going to be fun. I think it's definitely pickable at 9 mana. Like, it was pickable when it was 10 mana, so I'm happy with this. Pyroblast. I got Pyroblast, like, getting us all paranoid, thinking we're going to die at 10 health all the time. So this card's going to scare me, but I don't think many people will pick it. And honestly, it's not a card I've ever really picked much anyway. Blizzard, really great ads. It's a great staller in Arena. Pyromaniac, brilliant free drop for Mage. I've always talked about how Mage just need that extra value or the extra draw, and this card will absolutely help with that. And then Explosive Runes. It's kind of like, what's it called? My brain no function today. It's kind of like a fireball onto a minion, isn't it? It's not too bad. I actually kind of like this secret. Like, I won't say it's an instant pick, but I think it's decent enough to consider in certain decks. Alrighty, then we have Paladin, and honestly, I'm happy these cards are gone. It was nothing worse than whenever you have to discover a spell, and you had to like, Holy Light or Pursuit of Justice being offered. You're like, bleh. Guardian of Kings was okay, but I never liked picking it, to be honest. Flash of Light is being added though, which is a bit, I wouldn't pick it personally because it doesn't really do much. I think there are better value cards out there that like just draw you a card. Amber Watch has been added to Paladin, which is great. I really like the card actually. I think it's a nice card. However, this is something I have a problem with. Not only they've buffed it as well. It's now a 3 mana 3/3 instead of 3 mana 2/3. But this card discovers a dragon, and there are not going to be as many dragons in the pool now than there used to be. So a lot of the times when you get Bronze Explorer, you are probably going to get one of the very strong dragons. You know, like the lovely Asherah or the bigger. The big scary Onyxia. So yeah, this card's going to end up This card's probably going to be a game winner a lot of times. And then we've got Ragnaros the Light Lord. Gosh, that is that's a flash from the past if I've ever saw one. I think it's okay. It's the thing is, legendaries have come such a long way now. It's nothing really that significant, right? Alright, moving on to Priest. We've got, so the cards that have been taken out. Clergy, sad because it is a decent one drop. Shadow Form, never really utilised in Arena, so that's fine. Lightspawn is alright. I have a love-hate relationship with Lightspawn. I think it's fine that it's leaving. I'm sad about Temple Enforcer though. I think this is a solid 5 drop. Like the stats are brilliant. Plus given the health as well. Mwah. I'm so sad to see that go. And Natalie's going as well. Poor Natalie, man. Didn't have much time to shine. Honestly, never saw her in an arena. I forgot she was actually in core set, to be honest. Lyra's coming back. Time for some memes. I cannot wait. Like, obviously, like, the stats are understated for the mana cost, but if you can get a chain of spells going, all is good. Northshire Cleric is back. I'm so happy for this. It's so nice to get some draw, especially for a class like Priest. Radiant Elemental's decent. Light Bomb's really good. I can't wait to not play around that and completely forget it exists. Luckily it's an epic, so we shouldn't see it too much. We've got Draconid Operative. I don't think there's going to be a super amount of dragons out there, so yeah, I think it's fine to add it here. It's a lot of times I think it's going to be like a pit fighter, right? A 5 mana 5/6. And then the next thing we have is Murzond the Infinite. This scares me the most. This is a disgusting card. This is so strong in Arena. Why are they bringing it back? Alright. Next we have is Rogue. So the cards that they're removing are Bladed Cultist and Patient Assassin. I'm not sad about that. That's fine. They weren't really good cards. They've added Tess Greymane. Why? I don't know. Buccaneer, however, is a brilliant card, and I think if you're going to go aggressive Buccaneer, I think it's still relevant to this day. It's a really good card. Hench Clan Burglar. I hate the stats for it. I really wish they will, like, either, like, buff it a little bit, or maybe decrease the mana cost and maybe make it, like, a 3/3 or something. It's just a 4 mana 4/3. It's a bit sad, but it's a fun card, so I'm happy to see it. Alright, Shaman, they got rid of Wind Fury. I'm glad. Unbound Elemental, I'm a bit sad about though. I think it's a good free drop for Shaman. Totem Carver was a bit but it's a Yeti even without the +1/+1, so it's still actually not bad. Same with Earth Elemental. Earth Elemental was nice. So yeah, these are actually decent cards they're getting rid of. And then they've added Kragwa the Frog, which I can't imagine having much use out of. Farsight is very Flame Tongue Totem is It used to be amazing, but now it's just okay, I think. Maelstrom Portal's really good though. Bloodlust. Bloodlust was never really good in Arena. It was a good surprise card, but that was it, right? And then let's go into Warlock. So they've got rid of Dread Infernal, Possessed Villager, and Fell Lord, which I'm really sad about because I like these cards a lot. Ritual Doom's going though, which makes me super happy. Got Voidwalker, Imp Gang Boss, and Abyssal Enforcer. I really like these cards, so I'm really happy they've added these. High Priestess Jeklik is actually going to be added, and they've given her 5 health instead of 4. So she's actually decently statted now. Then we got Darkshire Librarian. I don't want this card. I don't like the thought of discarding a card from my hands. Unless it gives me like a really, really good benefit, like the Spawn of Deathwing, right? So yeah, I don't know if this is actually pickable. And then we have Warrior. Unfortunately, we are losing the Warsong Commander, Warcash, and Warsong Outrider. I actually think these cards are really good. So seeing them go makes me kind of cry on the inside a little bit. The cards that have been added in is Darius, and they've given it +1 health so it just doesn't die as quickly. So that's really good. This is a good card. Shield block, however, is absolutely awful. Bash is okay. Brave is kind of eh. So yeah, we're kind of we kind of lost some good cards for some very mediocre to crap cards, really. Alright, and then we got all of the neutrals. Well, actually, this is half of the neutrals. There's going to be another page as well, but I'm going to try and go through this as quick as I can. So I don't mind Arcane, Cogmaster, Priestess, Mini Mage, Rivercroc, Toxologist, Farsealer, Ghoul, Ice Rager being gone. That's fine. I am going to miss Argent Squire, however. I think Injured's okay, especially if you have like heal combos. Brightwing, we're going to lose our friends. I'm really sad about that. I love Brightwing. One of my favorite cards. Alrighty, so we have the Explorers back, which are going to be interesting. I don't think Bran is going to be that relevant, but Elise is going to make Arena a lot of fun. Reno Jackson is going to kill me if anyone ever does trigger this off. Sir Finley Murgleton is a funny card to play. Solar, it's alright. Murloc Warleader's back. I don't know how I feel about that. Mistress of Mixtures and Beam and Psychic are in, so it does make up for the fact that we are losing a decent one drop here, so that makes me happy. Acolyte of Pain, I feel like should have a little bit more health, kind of like Whelp Bonker. I feel like it's a little understated, but it should still be kind of decent, I guess, in classes that need draw. Doomsayer makes me super happy. I find the card really funny to play. Not saying it's amazing, but it's okay. It's just if you have a card that summons a 2-drop, just be very careful because this is now in the pool. Gorilla Bot, alright, this has been buffed. This is now 3 mana instead of 4, so it's not too bad. And there is going to be Sneeds in this meta, so if you can actually pull that off, that's going to be really cool. But I don't think there's that many mechs right now unless you're playing Mage, so whether or not this card actually works is a different story. Tar Creeper's being added to core. This makes me really happy. I think Tar Creeper is a brilliant taunt for its mana cost, so lovely to see. And then let's have a look at this. So they're getting rid of King Mukla, Baron Rivendare, Berserker, Stable Hand, and Giant. I'm happy with that. They can go. Sad about Spider Tank going, even though it's very like vanilla now as a free drop. I still like Spider Tank. I think it's cute. Bassie's going, however, and Bassie is like one of my favorite neutrals, I think. So I'm very sad to see this go. White Mane was okay-ish. Yeah, the cards that I'm saddest about leaving core in the neutrals is Basilisk. I think it's such a good card. But if we were to look in here, why have they added Life Drinker? I've noticed there's a lot of cards with emphasis of heal being added in at the moment. Wild Pyromancer is going to be fun though. I love Sea Giant. I think it's going to be great to see maybe more tokeny decks. Got Plated Beetle. There's the Drake. We've got Twilight Drake as well. Twilight Drake was always kind of air in Arena, because a lot of times you always ended up with like 3 or 4. You never managed to give it much health, right? Escape Mana Saber though, if you do get offered it, is really, really, really good. Definitely worth a pick. Drake's going to be added permanently. That's great. Mossy Horror's okay, but it's interesting they've added it to core. Fairy Dragon, my heart is swelling with joy because I was so sad when they got rid of Fairy Dragon originally. Valpera is brilliant. Cabalt's brilliant. And Ninja Tolvir, I think it just makes up for the fact that we lost one of our 2-drops. Alright, so that's everything that's going in and leaving core. Now we're going to go over to the arena sets. So we're going to have the core, which we just went through. We're going to have League of Explorers. So that is the one with basically the cards that have just been added into the core set. So like Reno, Elise, Bran, and Sir Finley. Yeah, so this is a really old expansion. There was nothing that really stuck out to me personally with this set. Whispers of the Old Gods, Death Rattles are going to be among us, but I found a lot of the cards in this set, again, very lackluster. The only card that really speaked out to me was like Bulk Reaper. I remember that cards. The Grand Tournament. Ah, yes. The Grand Tournament. Isn't that like the one that upgrades your hero power? Yeah. Why? It's, again, such an old set. So, very air sets. And then we get like United in Stormwind, Fractured in the Altric Valley, and the new set Voyage to the Sunken City. And from what I remember, United in Stormwind was insane. Because this is where like Bannerman was in, Righteous Defense, Sneeds, like Park Panther, all these different types of cards, right? They're absolutely overpowered. So it's going to be interesting how all of these are going to work together. Fractured has some insane cards too. And from the little whispers I've been hearing around in Twitch, Voyage to the Sunken City is going to be insane. And without further ado, let's have a look at the keywords for the Fractured to the Sunken Village or Valley. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Let's have a look at the keywords. So the first one is Dredge. So look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck, put one on top. There are cards that synergize with this. I think it's okay. It's okay. Honestly, I do prefer drawing a card over this. But I think it's very interesting to know what you're gonna draw next turn. So with Dredge, it actually kind of gives you like a little bit of predictability for your next turn, so it really influences how you play that turn when you do Dredge against your opponent. I actually think this is pretty, I think it's a decent keyword. I think it's okay. I think it has its use in Arena. A lot of people have been looking down on it, but I think having the option of looking at 3 cards and choosing which comes next rather than just not knowing is kind of, it's actually okay. I think it's decent enough. And then we have Colossal, right? And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to understand what this meant. I'm so bad. But it's basically an upgraded version of a battle cry. So basically this effect triggers whether you play it or if it's like summoned from your hand or deck. So say for example, someone like forcefully takes it from your deck, it will, and put it onto the board, it will still like play its like battle cry, so you'll still have the effect of it. It's really powerful, and it will always say Colossal times an X amount of numbers. So the X amount is the like amount of minions it summons, basically appendages, so it calls it. That's what I've understood. The only thing I don't like is that it doesn't tell you what the spawns are on the actual card. You kind of have to know. So this is why we're going to go through them. Because I got a bit confused with this keyword. But overall, very interesting keywords. Let's have a look at the new expansion now. Here we are. We're going to start off with Demon Hunter. And then we're going to do like class by class, and then we'll work our way down. So the first card we got is a 3 mana spell called Predation. It's a fell spell, deal 3 damage, cost 0 if you played a Naga while holding this. So that's not too bad. By the way, Naga is a new minion type, like creatures of the sea per se, and it's kind of like a whole theme with this new expansion. So just bear that in mind. So yeah, if you play a minion with Naga as the minion type, this card will cost 0. So I actually think this is pretty decent. And also, it costs 0 if you played a Naga whilst holding this. So you don't have to even play it that turn. You can play it any turn you want. And deal 3 damage means it can go face as well. I think this is a really good card for Arena. Should we rate between 1 and 5 stars? 1 being bad, 5 being great. I'd probably rate this at a 4-star. I think it's really good considering there's going to be a lot of Nagas added to Arena. I think it's not going to be hard to make this 0 mana at all. Any other expansion though, I think it's going to be kind of lackluster. I'd say like 2.5. I think it'll be like a 2-star in any other circumstance. But in this set, I think a lot of times you're going to end up playing this for 0. Next card we have is a 5-mana weapon called Bone Glaive. It's a 5-mana 5/2 battlecry Dredge. So it's basically a Reaper, you know, like the warrior card 5/2 weapon with a bonus. So we just learned what Dredge is, so you're just going to look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck, put one on top. I actually think this is a really good weapon. It's definitely worth picking for Demon Hunter, especially if you're going to go very aggressive. I'd probably rate this like 4 stars. I actually think it's just a solid weapon. Sometimes you just need a good weapon. Next card we have is a 4-mana 4/3 Glaive Shark. Battlecry, if your hero attacked this turn, deal 2 damage to all enemies. That is absolutely bonkers. Okay, hold on. Let me change the... Oh, I don't know. This is insane. This is easily... Yeah, this is much better than the weapon. Okay, let's put this at... Hold on. Let me review these again. This is going to be... Let's do this as 3.5 stars. Let's just make this 3 stars. I need to reevaluate my whole ranking system here. And then this is going to be like 4 stars, almost 5 stars. This is such an insane card. What the hell? It's an AoE attached to a minion, and like if your hero attacked this turn, like your hero power only costs 1. So it's not hard to do that. And if you have a weapon, then you can literally just play this for 4. It's so good. I love this. Alright. Next card we have is a 4-mana shadow spell, Abyssal Depths. Draw your 2 lowest cost minions. Huh. Draw your 2 lowest cost minions? Why? This is awful. I'm gonna give this a 1 star. I'm so confused. So you're just drawing your 2 lowest cost minions, right? Yeah, no, that's not worth picking. Alright, next card we have is a 2-mana 2/2 Wayward Sage, which is a Naga. Outcast, reduce the cost of the left and rightmost cards in your hand by 1. That's not too bad, actually. I think that's really definitely worth picking. Little understated for the mana cost, but for the outcast effect, I actually think it's alright. I'll give it like a 3 stars. Next card we have is a 6-mana minion, which is also a Naga. 6-mana 2/6 Coilscar Commander, Taunt Battlecry. If you've cast 3 spells while holding this, summon 2 copies of this. Holy moly. Imagine having 3 spells in Demon Hunter. If you pull this off, that is absolutely insane. But there's a chance this may literally just be a 6-mana 2/6 taunts without the effects. I'm gonna give this like a 2 star because if you pull it off with the spells, great. But a lot of times this is just gonna be way too expensive. Way too expensive. I just don't see you pulling it off. I don't think it's good. Next card we have is a 3-mana 2/4 Naga, Lady's Thenor. Immune while attacking. After you cast a spell, attack the lowest health minion. That's kind of cool. So you can attack with her, and then you can cast a spell, and she'll attack again. That's a really nice way to go about it. And it says lowest health minion. So if your opponent's like the only enemy on the board, then she's going to attack the opponent's face. So yeah, I think this is a decent card. I'm going to give her 3.5 stars. I think she's definitely solid. Next card we have is a 4-mana 5/3 Asherah Defector. Rush, Death Rattle, put a Sunken Defector on the bottom of your deck. So this is where Dredge comes good, because if you purposely put stuff at the bottom of your deck, then you can try and fish it out, right? So a Sunken Defector is a 4-mana 5/3 charge. After this attack, deal 5 damage to a random enemy minion. That is insane. I like this. Like, it has the rush, plus it adds something insane like this. And the thing is, Dredge is, I think it's going to be a bit more common to find, right? So I genuinely think this is a good card. I'm going to put it as 3.5. Because unless you do have the Dredge keyword, you're not going to be able to pull it off. But the fact that Dredge is going to be quite common, I think I am going to just rate it that high. I think it's such a good card. So yeah, I'm happy with this card. It's always good to have Rush as well. Next card we have is a 1-mana spell called Multi-Strike. Give your hero +2 attack this turn. They may attack an additional enemy. Ooh. Additional enemy minion, sorry. So you can attack twice, basically. I kind of like that. I really, really like that. So it's like a little mini board clear, right? If you need it. I'd probably give this 3 stars. I think it's good enough. Not the best thing in the world, but I'm happy with it. Alright. Here is one of the first Colossal cards. So it's a 7-mana 3/6 called Zylag of the Abyss. Colossal +4. At the start of your turn, increase the damage the Zylag stalks by 1. Right. So Colossal +4 means it's going to summon 4 of the appendages, and the stalks are these guys. So it's so at the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to a random enemy minion. So this is what they look like. They all have like different art on each of them. And yeah, basically whatever stalk survive the next turn, they just gonna keep getting +1 damage. Well, from as long as this stays alive as well. I think it's alright. I don't... If the minion, if it survives, I think it's definitely worth. It is like 4, it's like 4 random pings right at the end of the turn at a random enemy. I think it's a funny card. I'm trying to think of how useful it would be in Arena. 7 mana 3/6 stats as well, so it's easily killable for the mana cost. I'd probably give it 3 stars. I don't think it's absolute crap. I think it's pickable, but I think there are much better cards out there. Much better legendaries, at least. Alrighty. Next we have is Druid, I believe. So this is a 6 mana 5/5 Naga, Green Thumb Gardener, Battlecry, refresh empty mana crystals equal to the cost of the most expensive spell in your hand. Ah! What was that noise? I'm sorry. Hold on, my cat's gonna jump. Bloody hell. Right. I don't know if this is actually going to be that effective in Arena. Like, if you have a spell, great. But if you don't, this is literally a 6 mana 5/5. I'm just going to give it 2 stars. I don't think it's that good. Next card we have is a 1 mana minion. For 1 mana 4/4. Alright, Dozing Kelp Keeper. Rush starts dormant after you've cast 5 mana worth of spells. Awaken again. If you have 5 mana worth of spells, great. But I don't see this activating so much. I'm just going to give it 2 stars. Next card we have is a 3 mana spell, Seaweed Strike. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If you played a Naga while holding this, also give your hero +4 attack this turn. Oh, that's really good. So if you played a Naga anytime whilst holding that card, it's kind of like 8 damage in 2 yeah, 8 damage altogether, so 4 damage to a minion plus 4 damage on your hero, so you can use that for a minion, or you can hit the opponent's face. I actually think this is pretty decent. You're pretty much going to get the buff if you have a bunch of Nagas, so I'm going to give this 3 stars. I think it's decent enough. Next card we have is a 1 mana 1/3 bottom feeder. Death roll, add a bottom feeder to the bottom of your deck with permanent +2/+2. Oh, that's nice. So basically, if you do have Dredge cards, you'll be able to fish this out. No pun intended. And then have like a 1 mana 2/5, I believe. Does it still have the same... Oh yeah, it'll still have the same death rattle as well. I like it. So you basically just keep buffing it and buffing it and buffing it till it becomes a chonker. Alright. Next card we have is a 0 mana spell, Aquatic Form. That is really cute, by the way. Dredge. If you have the mana to play the card this turn, draw it. I like that. So 0 mana. Basically 0 mana draw cards. And if you have like the mana to play it, you literally draw. You don't even have to play. What you can do is, right, if you have like a decent amount of mana, you could like analyze. So say you have full mana and you're offered like 3 cards at the bottom of your deck, and they're all decent cards. You can purposely choose the cards that you could play that turn, but you don't have to play it. It could be a card that could be useful the turn after, for example. But it's nice sometimes to have a certain card in your hand ready for like future scenarios. So I actually really think this is decent. I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I don't think it's always worth picking, but it's nice to have a 0 mana draw, I think. Alright, next card we have is a 1 mana spell, Asherah Gardens. Give all minions in your hand +1/+1. Put a Sunken Gardens on the bottom of your deck. Sunken Gardens give +1/+1 to all minions in your hand, deck, and battlefields. So again, this is where like Dredge also comes in handy. You can go ahead and try and fish this out as well. It's okay. Again, you kind of have to force the Dredge keyword, right? If you don't have Dredge, then it may just be a bit sucky. I'm gonna give it 2 stars, but I see where it's coming from. I think it's a really cool idea and concept. Alright, 5 mana spell. Oh, little Orca. I love Orcas so much. Right. Choose one. Summon a 6/6 Orca with Taunt or 6 1/1 Otters with Rush. So this is for 5 mana. I actually think that's decent. Oh, let's have a look at these, by the way. Oh, look how cute he looks. So 5 mana 6/6 Taunt I actually think is really, really good. I think before, like, you had to spend like 6 mana for a 6/6 Taunt. So, you know, happy with that. Let's have a look at the otters. Oh, the otters are so cute. Oh. Oh, I love this. This is adorable. And imagine if you have one of those cards that like combine the effect together. So you'll end up with like, you'll be able to fit everything, which is really cool. I like it. I think this is like a 4-star card. I think it's a really great flexible card for Druids. Alright, next card we have is a 7 mana spell, Miracle Growth. Draw 3 cards, summon a plant with taunt and stats equal to your hand size. Draw 3 cards, summon a plant with taunt and stats equal to your hand size. So this is what the taunt looks like. So say you have an empty hand and you just have this, it'll be like a free taunt plus 3 cards drawn for 7 mana. Obviously you may have more cards than that, but I'm trying to think like worst case scenario. I think it's okay-ish. I don't know, I'm not... Druid I feel like also runs out of cards pretty easily sometimes. I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I'm not sure. It just seems like a lot of mana for what it does. Alright, next card we have 7 mana 4/5 Hedra the Heretic. Battlecry. For each spell you've cast while holding this, summon a minion of that spell's cost. That's interesting. So whilst this has been in your hand, basically it bears in mind all the cards that you've casted. And it's like a random minion. So if you cast a 2 mana spell, you may get a Doomsayer. It's great. No, I'm kidding. But again, spell-wise with Druids, I don't know if there's going to be that many spells altogether. I'm going to give it 2 stars just because it's just really understated and the mana cost is a bit high. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Because it has to be in your hand as well for the effect to take place. If it was in your... so like say you top deck it, it's just going to be a bit awful, right? Okay, and then next card we have is Kolak. Or Kolake, however you pronounce it. 7 mana 6/5, Colossal +1, so we are going to summon one of these, which is this Kolak's Shell Taunt Death Rattle, gain 8 armor. It's 5 mana 0/8 as well, so it's a decent taunt actually. and it's immune whilst you control this as well. So your opponent can't remove this before removing the taunt first. That's actually really powerful. So yeah, I think this card's definitely worth a pick if you want a little bit of a defense sides. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I think it's decent. I think it's really good to pick. I think it's gonna be very annoying in Arena. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And then, oh, moving on to Hunter. Alright, so we got a 3 mana spell, Conscious Call. Conscious Call? That sounds so weird. Draw a Naga and a spell? I guess that's very specific. It's okay, I guess. I kind of like how it's specifically a spell and a minion. I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. I'm just not sure. When it comes to, I'm weird. I am. Whenever it comes to draws, I always prefer it when the draw effect is like attached to a minion or a weapon. But it is pretty decent. Next card we have is a weapon. Ooh, Harpoon Gun. 3 mana, 3/2 weapon. After your hero attacks, Dredge. Oh, so you can get like 2 of these as well. So you dredge twice. If it's a beast, reduce its cost by 2. Oh, that's actually good as well. So you can like make the beast cost cheaper as well. That's actually a really good thing to point out because say for example you're gonna have 5 mana next turn, and one of the bottom 3 cards of your deck is like a 7 mana beast. If you choose that card as the dredge cards, next turn you're going to be able to play the 7 mana beast for 5 mana. It's good, it's nice, I like it. It's I'm going to give it 4 stars. I actually think it's fairly decent. Next card we have is a 1 mana spell, Urchin's Mines. The spells this turn are poisonous. I'm going to give this 1 star. I don't actually think this is going to be pulled off so much. Next card we have is 7 mana 5/5 Hydrolodon, Colossal +2. So this is going to summon 2 minions, which are the Hydrolon heads. And I saw this in play, right? So if you control Hydrolon, summon 2 Hydrolon heads. Now, so if someone plays this, you need to clear Hydrolon before trying to clear the heads, okay? Because I watched a clip of this card being played and someone just kept trying to kill the heads, and then they just kept summoning more and more heads when they really should have killed the Hydrolon first. So yeah, definitely worth doing. And yeah, and the battle cry is give your Hydrolon heads rush. So only the first summoned minions have rushed. But when the battle cry, when a death rattle triggers, the minions that get resurrected from that will not have rush. So just bear that in mind. It's just the first 2 minions. With that being said, it's still insane. It's like a tyrant, but with benefits. I'm gonna give this a 5 star. It actually is a really good card. Because if you trade off the 2 minions, you're still gonna have like, you're gonna have 4 heads on board for next turn. It's insane. Plus the main body as well. And then your opponent has to deal with like a 5/5 and like 4 heads. It's bonkers. Alright, next card we have is a 3 mana spell, Naga's Pride. Summon 2 2/2 Lionfish. If you played a Naga while holding this, give them +1/+1. That's really, really cool. So that's basically like the Druid card that literally just got taken out, the 3 mana spell that summons 2 2/2s. But you can get they can be buffed. I think this is, even without it being buffed, I actually think it's an okay card. But the fact that all it takes is just playing a Naga, I'm going to give this 4 stars. I think this is actually quite strong. Next card we have is a 4 mana 3/3 Asherah Saber. Rush, Death Rattle, put a Sunken Saber on the bottom of your deck. So the fact that it has Rush is okay. 4 mana 3/3 Rush though, I'm a bit iffy about that. Sunken Saber, 4 mana 3/3 Rush, Death Rattle, summon a beast from your deck. I don't think this is that great. I think there are better Rush cards nowadays, so I'm a bit bit skeptical of it, and with it being arena, sometimes you just don't know what beast you're gonna get. It's probably gonna be a crap beast. I don't know. I'm gonna give it. And you have to dredge that as well. You have to dredge this out. So it's like more things you have to do in order to get some form of effect, a decent effect from it. I'm gonna give 2.5 stars. I don't think it's absolute crap, but yeah, I probably wouldn't pick this personally. Next card we have is a 2-mana spell, Emergency Maneuvers. Oh, it's a secret actually, oops. When a friendly minion dies, summon a copy of it. It's dormant for 1 turn. Wait, what? That's insane. So basically someone can like go out of their way to like kill a really big minion and then it just gets dormant. I like that. That's a really fun spell. I'm gonna give this 3.5 stars. I don't know how amazing it's gonna be, but I think it's gonna be really good. It's one of those cards where you don't know how good it is until you play it, right? And then you got an improved one. So there is an improved secret. I don't know where it's gonna be from, but if someone does play an improved secret, at least you know when a friendly minion dies, summon 2 copies of it. They're dormant for 1 turn. Oh wow, that is really good. Alright. Next card we have is a 1-mana spell, Barbed Nets. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. If you played a Naga while holding this, choose a second target. Ooh, I like that. I think this is solid. I'm gonna give this 3 stars. I think it's definitely worth a pick. Next card we have is a 2-mana 2/3 Raj Nuzjan. After you cast a spell, deal damage equal to its cost to the enemy hero. After you cast a spell, deal damage equal to its cost to the enemy hero. That's interesting. Not many spells in Arena, but it's a 2-mana 2/3, and if you do get to pull that off, more the merrier, right? I'll give it 2.5 stars. It's okay. Next card we have is a 4-mana 4/4 Naga, Twin Bow, Terror Coil, Battle Cry. If you cast a spell while holding this, your next spell casts twice. Ooh, that's interesting. God, there's a lot of things you have to do to make these cards work. Again, spells. If you've cast a spell while holding. So you need at least 2 spells to get any benefit from this, right? But it's a 4-mana 4/4. I think it's okay. It's just you have to be holding it as well. Yes, you have to cast. So you've had to have cast a spell whilst it's in your hands, and then you have to play this card, and then you have to play the second spell that you supposedly have. I don't know. Too many conditions. I'm gonna give it 2 stars, I think. Next card we have is a 3-mana spell for Mage. Oh, moving on to Mage already. Seafloor Gateway. Draw a mech. Reduce the cost of mechs in your hand by 1. Oh, I heard Mech Mage is actually going to be a thing now. I like Mech Mage, so it's going to be very interesting. Maybe Gorilla Bot actually has a purpose. With this being said, though, I don't know how I feel about this. It seems kind of crappy. I'm gonna give this like 1.5 stars. Next card we have is a 2-mana 3/2 Trench Surveyor, Battlecry Dredge. If it's a mech, draw it. Oh, I love that. That's such a good card. Because if you do find a mech, then it gives you just that little bit extra value, right? I think this is a really, really good card. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Next card we have is a 4-mana Naga, 2/5 stats, Spite Lash Siren. After you play a Naga, refresh 2 mana crystals. Then switch to spells. Oh my gosh. So after you play a Naga, refresh 2 mana crystals and then switch to spell. I love that. So, and it doesn't say you have to do it this turn. You can do it whenever, right? So you can play a Naga, get that 2 extra mana crystals, do what you want, and then somewhere down the line play a spell, get 2 extra mana crystals. I like that. That's really, really good. The stats aren't awful, I guess. I don't know. Usually you want like a 3/6 for a 4-mana card, right? I would give this, I'm gonna give this 3 stars. I think it's pretty okay, pretty decent. It's just the stats that are down a bit. Next card we have is a 2-mana spell, Volcanomancy. Or Volcanomancy. Volcanomancy? I don't know. Choose a minion. When it dies, deal 3 damage to all other minions. Oh, that's interesting. So you can like sack your own minion and like set off this like whole AoE kind of effect thing. And it's 2 mana as well. So it's quite cheap. I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. I really like it. Because imagine your opponent's... you could place it on like an opponent's card as well. You can make the board so awkward with this. I love it. Really fun card. Next card we have is a 4-mana 3/5 Commander Zera Battlecry. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, add those spells back to your hand. 3 spells in Arena as Mage. Not entirely impossible, but not really gonna happen either. I think a lot of the times this is literally just gonna be a 4-mana 3/5, which is a bit eh. So, oh, if you cast 3 spells whilst holding this, oh, so if this is in your hand whilst you cast those spells, that's kind of okay actually. It's just, the thing is, it has to be in your hands. It's gonna be nothing worse than having these cards like in your deck for ages and then you're like in a top deck war and then these cards just become kind of useless. I'm gonna give this 2.5 stars, I think. Oh, my cat's trying to eat me. Stop. Sorry. Alright, next card we have is a 3-mana 4/3 Mecha Shark. After you summon a mech, deal 3 damage randomly split among all enemies. That's really cool actually. So after you summon a mech, deal 3 damage randomly split among all enemies. So even if you don't have mechs, it's decently statted. But hey, if you do get to play a mech, I actually think this is a really fun effect. Gonna give it 3 stars. It's just a really, really solid cards. I really think it's gonna be good. It looks fun. Anyway, next card we have is a 2-mana spell, Gifts of Asherah. Draw a card. If you played a Naga while holding this, do it again. Yeah. So it's like a 2-mana Arcane Intellect, right? I think I'd give this 2.5 stars. I don't deem Arcane Intellect that highly in my eyes at all. And this is just like a 1-mana cheaper version of that if you manage to upgrade it, right? So yeah. It would be higher if it wasn't for the condition that you had to play a Naga while holding it. Next card we have is an 8-mana mech. 8-mana 5/7, Gaia the Tectonic. Colossal +2, so you're going to summon 2 minions. After a friendly mech attacks, deal 1 damage to all enemies. And if I remember correctly, these have rush. Yes, so the drills are 2 free rushes. So you're definitely going to get off the deal 1 damage to all enemies. So yeah, I think this is I think it's pretty solid for the mana cost. I'm going to give this 4 stars because it's nice to have the rush effect plus the little mini AoE effect as well. I think it's a nice comeback card if you're a little bit behind. So yeah, I like this card. Next card we have is a 3-mana 3/4 mech. Battlecry, put a Sunken Sweeper on the bottom of your deck. It's called Asherah Sweeper, and then you have the Sunken Sweeper. Add 3 random mechs to your hand. Oh, that's so much fun. I like this. I like it. A lot of the times this is probably just a spider tank. But if you do get some Dredge synergy, this is actually really nice. It's a great hand filler. I'm probably going to rate this 2.5 stars. I think it's okay on its own. I'm kind of rating it in case you don't get Dredge and then this is literally stuck at the bottom of your deck and you never get to see this in play. But if you do manage to get a decent amount of Dredge synergy, I think this is actually really good. Definitely worth the pick for fun, I think. Next card we have is a 2-mana 2/3 Spell Coiler. Battlecry, if you cast a spell while holding this, discover a spell. So if you cast a spell while holding this, discover a spell. That's really good. Again, the condition that is that you have to cast a spell whilst holding it, but It's not a super hard condition to meet, I guess. Especially with Mage. I think it's a really... This is really good, actually. And decent stats as well. I'm going to give it 3 stars, I think. 3.5, actually, for the value factor. Alrighty, next we're doing is Paladin. So first card is a 1-mana spell. Holy Mackie roll. Restore 2 health. Repeatable this turn. Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm not a fan of heals in Arena. I'm just gonna give it 1 star. Right, next card we have is a 4-mana 4/4 mech bubble bot. Battle cry, give your other mechs divine shield and taunt. Wow. So if you actually have other mechs on your board, this could be really good. But if you don't, then it's literally a 4-mana 4/4 mech. I'm just gonna give it 2.5 stars. I don't know how much mechs Paladin are gonna have right now. Apparently some more. Alright. 3-mana 4/2 mech. Asherah Mooncatcher, Divine Shield, Battlecry, put a Sunken Mooncatcher on the bottom of your deck. Honestly, on its own, it's already like a great minion. 3-mana 4/2 Divine Shield, great. And Sunken Mooncatcher is Battlecry, summon a copy of this. Holy crap, that's insane. Yeah, this is a 4-star card for me. This is really, really good. Next card we have is a 7-mana 4/5, the Leviathan. Colossal +1. So it summons this, which is a Rush Divine Shield. After this attacks, draw a card. What? And this also has Rush Divine Shield. After this attacks, Dredge. Oh my gosh. So you can like attack with this first, choose what you want on top of your thing, and then attack with this and draw that card right away. Oh my god. I'm gonna give this 5 stars. I actually think this is insane. This is bonkers. Paladin's gonna be good, man. I've seen some of the cards Paladin are getting at the moment and it's like, what? What? Absolutely bonkers. Right. Next card we have is 2-mana spell, Raider Detector. Scan the bottom 5 cards of your deck, draw any mechs found this way, then shuffle your deck. So scan the bottom 5 cards of your deck, draw any mechs found this way, then shuffle. Alright, so if you have 0 mechs, you're literally going to draw no cards. So this is more of a constructed card, right? I think in Arena it's too risky. I'm just going to give it 1 star. Next card we have is a 7-mana spell. Summon a 1/2, 2/4 and 4/8 elemental with taunts. Okay. I think it's alright. It's a nice little board spread thing actually, and the fact that they have taunt as well, that is so annoying for your enemy. I'm gonna get annoyed by this card. I think it's really good. I'm gonna give this 4 stars. Yeah, I actually think this is a really good card. I think the fact that it has taunt makes it so annoying. If it didn't have taunt, it may actually be a bit worse. But it's a great defensive card. Next card we have is a 2-mana 2/2 mech. Seafloor Savior, Battlecry Dredge. If it's a minion, give it this minion's attack and health. Oh god. No, that's so mean. What if you wanted a really good minion and then... What if you found like a really good minion and then you give it crap stats? That's so cruel. That's so cruel. You have to hope it's a spell, right? I'm gonna give this 2 stars. I don't know how I don't like it. I don't like it. Alright, next card we have is a 10-mana spell, the Garden's Grace. Give a minion +5/+5 and Divine Shield. Cost 1 less for each mana you spent on holy spells this game. Oh my god. There's a lot of new holy spells out, so you could really make this cheap if you want to. It just depends how many holy spells you have. Then you have to draw them beforehand. You have to have a decent amount of draw. Banana men are out, so drawing's not impossible. Oh, I'm going to give this 2.5 stars. I don't know how this is going to work. I think it may actually be okay, but it really, 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 really depends on the deck. So yeah, I'm not going to rate it highly. Next card we have is a 2-mana 2/3 Kotori Lightblade. After you cast a holy spell on this, cast it again on another friendly minion. Oh, that's really cute. I think I'm going to give it 2.5 stars just because it's just a 2 mana 2/3 a lot of the times. But if you do manage to pull off the Holy Spell synergy, then that's really cool. Next card we have is a 3 mana 2/5 Shimmering Sunfish. Battlecry, if you're holding a Holy Spell, gain Taunt and Divine Shield. Wow. So stat wise on its own it's okay, but if you get the Taunt and Divine Shield, I think that's really good. I'd probably give it 2.5 stars. Like I said, if you don't have the Holy Spell, then it's like 3 mana 2/5, right? Next we have is Priest. Hopefully Priest does not have scary stuff. 0 mana spell, eliminate Dredge. If it's a spell, reduce its cost by 3. Do you know Elix's back, right? The Elix spell. It's like give a minion +4, +7, Death Rattle, summon a 4/7 taunt. It's that spell's ridiculous, and that's actually in right now. But I don't know how I feel about it. Like if you don't have a spell at the bottom of your deck, it's kind of crap. Then it has to be a good spell. I prefer the Druid version of this, where you actually just draw the cards instead. I'm gonna give this one 2 stars. I'm not a fan. Actually, let's give it less. Give it 1 star. I don't like it. Alright, 2 mana 2/3 Naga, Queen's Guard, Battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each spell you've casted this turn. Alright, so you can coin into it, right? If you wanted to. Oh, imagine this on turn 1, you coin into it. You have like a 2 mana 3/4 on turn 1. Don't know if that's actually worth it or not, but yeah, I think it's a decent enough cards. I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. Even without the buffs, it has okay stats, right? Next card we have is a 1 mana spell, Whispers of the Deep. Silence a friendly minion, then deal damage equal to its attack. Randomly split among all enemy minions. Oh, that's interesting. That's actually really cool. I don't know how I feel about the silence effects, but imagine if you're one of those can't attack cards. That would be really funny. Because there's like the elephant right now, the frozen elephant, which is like a 4 mana 6/7 that's frozen unless you cast a fire spell. That could be fun to play on that. I think it's okay. I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. I don't think it's insane, but I don't know, there may be some synergy with it. Priest spell, 4 mana, Asherah ritual, silence a minion and summon a copy of it. Put a Sunken Ritual on the bottom of your deck. And then Sunken Ritual is silence a minion, summon 2 copies of it. Ooh. So there is a card like this without the Sunken Ritual attached to it, and it doesn't see that much play, to be honest. But the Sunken Ritual is actually really, really good. I'm gonna give this like a 2.5 stars. I feel like for the cost and the fact that the other card doesn't really get played, I can't imagine this getting played so much either, or getting picked. I don't know, enough. It's okay. Okay, next card we have is a 9 mana spell, Whirlpool. Destroy all minions and all copies of them wherever they are. So it's kind of like Plague of Death, but instead of silencing them, you just destroy the extra copies instead. So if any minions do have death rattles, they are still going to trigger. This card's actually really, really good. It's a great comeback card. I'm going to give this 4 stars, I think. I think it's definitely worth a pick as a form of removal. So yeah. And then especially if you actually do manage to get rid of any copies, like that would be insane. Alright, next card we have is a 0 mana Naga Priestess Valish, I don't know. Battlecry, refresh an empty mana crystal for each spell you've cast this turn. So if you have a bunch of spells, this is great. The fact that this is 0 mana as well is actually exceptional. Even if like the spell you've cast is like a small spell, I think it's still worth it. I think there are other legendaries I would rather pick over this though. I'd probably give this like a 2.5 stars. I don't think this is worth it a lot of the time. Maybe no, 2 stars. I think this is more of a constructed card, right? It's not really an arena card. I can see some ways in which it's good, but a lot of the times it's just air. It'd be great to play alongside this though. Like you can whirlpool play this and then play like 9 mana worth of cards. Great, but that's just such a random combo that I just don't see happening a lot of the time. Alright, next card we have is a 3 mana 3/2 Handmaiden Battlecry. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, draw 3 cards. Ooh, that would be insane if you pull that off. Whether or not it actually works though. In arena, 3 cards whilst this is in your hands. I'm gonna give this 2 stars. I just don't see it happening. Too much conditions. Alright. Next we have is Blackwater Behemoth. 8 mana, 8/10 Beast Colossal Lifesteal. And it summons this card. So at the end of your turn, force a random enemy minion to attack the Blackwater Behemoth. I like that. That's really cool. So it basically forces a minion to trade into it. So it's like a guaranteed lifesteal heal. Ah, that's really good. And it's an 8/10 as well, so a lot of times it could probably survive whatever you throw at it. I'll probably give this a 4 star. It's a really good card. And the next card we have is a 3 mana spell, Switcheroo, draw 2 minions, swap their stats. Oh my god. I love the chaos. I'm gonna give it, usually cards like this, where it's just draw 2 cards for 3 mana, I usually give like 2 stars, but I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars for the insanity. That'd be fun in arena. Next card we have is a 1 mana spell, Serpent Wig. Give a minion +1/+1. If you played a Naga while holding this, add a Serpent Wig to your hand. Ah, right, so if you keep playing Nagas... Yeah, so you can play... So you play the Naga, you play the buff, then it adds another Serpent Wig to your hand, and then you can like rinse and repeat. I don't think it's worth picking, but it's okay. I'll give it 2 stars. It's okay-ish. Next card we have is Gone Fishing. Oh my gosh. So, oh, we're going into Rogue as well. So 1 mana spell, Dredge, combo, draw a card. Love this. Love this. 3 stars. I like it. I really like this card. Because it's 1 mana, it's cheap. It's worth it when it's only... And there's no other conditions other than combo, right? Combo is like the easiest thing you can work out. May even rate this higher. I don't know. I think I'll stick with 3 stars for now. Next card we have is a 1 mana 3/1 Fillet Fighter. Oh, I've seen this. It's so good. Battlecry, deal 1 damage. It's basically a Elven Archer with +2 attack. I love it. I'm going to give this 4 stars because if you can play this early, it's just so much extra damage on board. It's so hard to do. It's so annoying to deal with in the early game, right? I feel like Rogue's going to have a decent amount of spread this time. Actually, 3.5 stars, I think, overall. I think it's really good and definitely a pick if you're going to go for an aggro Rogue style. Or even if you don't, just having a ping's great. Next card we have is a 4 mana Swift Scale Trickster. He's a Naga, he's a 2/2. Battlecry, your next spell this turn costs 0. There's not many rogue spells at the moment, right? Oh, you could have like the 8 mana card. Isn't there like an 8 mana card that draws 5 and it triggers any death rattles drawn? That could be funny. But overall, I think this is a bit I'm gonna give it 2 stars. Next card we have is a 3 mana 2/3 weapon, Swordfish, Battlecry Dredge. If it's a pirate, give this weapon and the pirate +2 attack. And you can do this 3 times as well. I love that. Oh, I love the synergy with that. I think it's a really good weapon as well. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. This card we have is Blood in the Water. Oh, that reminds me of that song from the Legally Blonde musical. Anyway, 6 mana, deal 3 damage to an enemy, summon a 5/5 Shark with Rush. Oh, I love this. Oh, that's such a good way of like establishing some form of ball control. Yeah, so 5/5 with Rush plus dealing 3 damage. I think it's like very fairly costed as well. It's not overpowered. I'm gonna give this 3.5 stars. I think it's definitely worth picking. Next card we have is an 8 mana 8/8 Pirate Admiral Hooktusk. If you summoned 8 other pirates this game, plunder the enemy. So plunder the enemy, so you can take their supplies, take 5 cards from your opponent's deck, take the gold, take 2 cards from your opponent's hands, and take their ship. Take control of your opponent's highest attack minion. I love this. Oh, this is so much fun. So you get like 7 cards plus your opponent's highest attack minion. Oh my god. Is this gonna work in Arena? Honestly, a lot of the times this is literally just gonna be an 8 mana 8/8. But what a fun card. I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars because it's just not gonna work a lot of the times. But if you do manage to pull this off, this is insane. This is insanity. This would be game winning for you. But yeah, no. 2.5 stars because a lot of it's just gonna be an 8 mana 8/8. Alright. Next card we have is a 5 mana spell, Asherah on Vessel, summon 2 3/3 pirates for self, put a sunken vessel at the bottom of your deck. So, Sunken Vessel, cast when drawn, summon 2 3/3 pirates with stealth. Ah. Oh, that's cool, so you don't even have to like spend mana on it. It's like literally a cast when drawn card, so if you dredge this, it is actually pretty decent. It's just 5 mana for the initial card though, it makes me a bit sad. So if you don't have dredge, oof, it's costly, right? I'm gonna give this 2 stars. Next card we have is a 6 mana 6/5 beast, Krabatua. Krabatua? I don't know. Colossal +2, your Krabatua claws have +2 attack. Right. Let's have a look at this. Oh, right, so whilst this is alive, you have these guys. Ooh. So basically it's a 2/1 with Rush, and when it dies, it gives you makes you equip a 2/1 claw. But whilst the Krabatua is alive, it actually has 4 attack. That's insane. This is really good. 6 mana as well. This is easily like a 4.5 star card. I think this is insane. This is like game turning sometimes. Really, really good card. Alright, next card we have is a 3 mana 2/5 pirate, Cutlass Courier. After your hero attacks, draw a pirate. That's not too bad. Like, it filters out your deck, right? So I'll give this, this is easily doable, 3.5 stars. I think it's nice to draw with Rogue, and sometimes draw is exactly what you need. And next card we have is a 5 mana 4/4, Bootstrap, Sunken Near combo, put an enemy minion on the bottom of your opponent's deck. Ah, so it's kind of like recycle, right? I like it. I think this is really annoying. I will give this 3.5 stars. I think it's really good. And off we are to Shaman. So first we have is a totem, 2 mana 0/3. After you summon a 1 cost minion, give it +2/+1. 1 star. Next card we have is a 7 mana 3/5, Glug the Gulper, Colossal +3, so it's going to summon 3 minions. So we got a 2/2 taunt, 2/2 taunt, so they all have taunts. After a friendly minion dies, gain its original stats. Alright, okay, so you could play this and then trades. And then you can like, and then this basically gets extra stats, right? Is that how that works? I'm assuming so. I think that's really good. The fact that these have taunt as well means if they can't like single targetly remove this and they have to get through the taunts, then this is just going to get buffed and buffed and buffed. So I really like it. I'm going to give this 4 stars. It's a kind of annoying card to deal with. Next card we have is a spell. 1 mana, Asherah scroll, discover a fire, frost or nature spell. Put a sunken scroll at the bottom of your deck. Sunken scroll, add a fire, frost or nature spell from your class to your hands. That's alright. I like it. It gives you a spell, right? And you may have the option to dredge into your deck to get this as well. I'm gonna give this 3 stars. It's alright. Next card we have is a 7 mana 5/4 Raspine Enchanter. Cast a copy of a fire, frost and nature spell in your hand. Targets chosen randomly. Oh god. I'm gonna give this 2 stars. It's just, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Actually, 1.5 star. I don't trust it. I'm sorry. Next card we have is a 3 mana 3/4 Elemental. Radiance of Asherah. Fire spell damage +2. Your nature spells cost 1 less. After you cast a frost spell, gain 3 armor. Okay. That's interesting. That has a lot of effects. I'm just gonna give it 3 stars. I think it's just a solid 3 drop really. Next card we have is a 1 mana spell Schooling. Add 3 1/1 Piranha Swarmers to your hands. Piranha Swarmers. Rush. After you summon a Piranha Swarmer, gain +1 attack. Ah, so if you keep playing them, if you play them like back to back, they get like all the extra attack, right? That's okay. There's only 3 of them though. Why are they all different colours? There's like 5 different colours, but you only get 3 in your hand. That's very interesting. I think I prefer Mount Commander over this, right? The 2/2 that gives you 1/1 mounts over the spell, but it's still a decent spell in itself. I think I'd give it 2.5 stars. I think it's worth. Next card we have is a 5 mana Naga. It's a 3/4 Battlecry. Summon a 3/3 elemental for each spell school you've cast this game. This is what the core elementals look like. Summon a 3 for each spell school you've cast this game. Ah, so it doesn't have to be in your hand. That's nice to know. I think you're bound to cast at least a couple of spell schools, right? I think a lot. You're gonna cast it. You're gonna get at least 1 3/3. I think. I think it's decent enough. I'll give this 3.5 stars. Next card we have is a 3 mana spell, Bioluminescence. Gosh, give your minion spell damage +1. Absolutely useless. I'm gonna give that 1 star. I'm sorry, it's just too much. It's too high costing for what it does, and in arena it's not really relevant. Not super relevant anyway. 3 mana 2/5 Piranha Poacher. At the end of your turn, add a 1/1 Piranha Swarmer to your hands. That's actually really good because it has 5 health. It's harder to get rid of. The Piranha Swarmer is the rush. I think for the like extra value and for the stats alone, I'm probably gonna give this 3 stars. Really good. Next card we have is a 1 mana spell, Scalding Geyser. Deal 2 damage, Dredge. I like it. 3 stars. I'm sorry if I'm going a bit quicker, by the way. I realise I've been doing this for a while now, so I'm just trying to get the video done. But I'm still going to give my detailed reviews, of course. Okay, now we got Warlock. So we got a 4 mana spell, Dragged Below. Deal 4 damage to a minion. Give your opponent an Abyssal Curse. An Abyssal Curse is at the start of your turn. Takes 0 damage. Each curse is worse than the last. 2 turns remaining. Oh gosh. So you can... Oh... I bet there's going to be a lot of things to do with this. This is going to be interesting, actually. I'm going to give it 2.5 stars because deal 4 damage to a minion's okay on its own. It's just for 4 mana. It's a bit... I feel like there's just better removal out there for Warlock. I understand the curse could maybe win you the game, but I don't know. I feel like there are just better cards out there. Next card we have is a 1 mana spell, Rock Bottom. Summon a 1/1 Murloc, then Dredge. If it's also a Murloc, summon 1 more. Oh, I like that. That's really cute. I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. Because if you actually get the Murloc, it's actually worth... Actually, no, but the chance of having a Murloc... Actually, no, I'll stick with 3. I'll stick with 3. I'm sorry, I changed my mind so quickly. 3 mana, 2/3, Siracast Cultist, Battlecry, give your opponent an Abyssal Curse. Ah, so yeah, it looks like they do adds and adds. Quite understated though. I'm going to give this 2 stars. Next card we have is a 2 mana 3/2 Murloc called Voidgill. Deathra will give more Murlocs in your hand, +1/+1. Honestly, this is just a 2 mana 3/2 a lot of the time, so I'm just going to give this 2.5 stars. Next card we have is a 5 mana 6/5 Zakil. Your Abyssal Curses heal you for the damage they deal. Battlecry, give your opponent an Abyssal Curse. Honestly, stat-wise, it's fine. Plus, it does something, right? I'm gonna give this... I'm gonna give this... 3 stars. Next card we have is a 2 mana spell, Chum Bucket. Give all Murlocs in your hand +1/+1. Repeat for each Murloc you control. I'm gonna give this 1.5 stars. I don't see this working a lot of the time, especially in Arena. This is more of a constructed card. Although it's not going to stop people from trying to do like a Murloc deck in Arena. I know I'm one of those people. You got a 6 mana spell, Abyssal Wave. Deal 4 damage to all minions. Give your opponent an Abyssal Curse. Yeah, it looks like Abyssal Curses are actually a thing. 4 damage to all minions though. Compared to Chaos Nova. Chaos Nova is obviously much better. I don't know, there's better AoE for Warlock surely. There is actually better AoE for Warlock. I'm going to give it 2 star. Next card we have is a 3 mana 3/4 Murloc, Asherah Scavenger. Battlecry, put a Sunken Scavenger at the bottom of your deck. And the Sunken Scavenger is a 3 mana 3/4. Give you other Murlocs +1/+1 wherever they are. It's absolutely adorable. I love the art on the second card as well. I'm going to give this one 3 stars. 8 mana 7/4 Murloc, Colossal +1. Battlecry, devour all enemy minions. Deathra will spit them back out. Right, so basically it literally it eats all the enemy minions, and then once it's killed, all back out. And what's the Colossal? So it summons a taunt. Deathra permanently destroys all minions inside Gigafin. Oh, so if you can't single targetly remove the Gigafin, it basically, you're not getting your minions back. Oh damn. That's really cool, and it's decently statted taunt-wise as well. I think this could be very handy. Because even if your opponent can single-handedly just kill the Gigafin and get their minions back, there's still like a whole turn they've missed out not being able to use their minions. It's just really tough. I think I'll give this like a 4 star. It's really strong. Next card we have is a 4 mana 4/4 Murloc, Bloodscent Valfin. Battlecry Dredge. If it's a Murloc, change his cost to health instead of mana. Oh god. I love playing Warlock where you have to use your health instead of mana. It's always funny. But it's alright. I'll give it 2.5 stars. Alright, and now we're off to Warrior. I believe this is the last class now. Guard the city. Gain 3 armor. Summon a 2/3 Naga with taunts. It's okay. I'll give that 2.5 stars. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Let's have a look what these look like. Aha, that's what it looks like. Next card we have is a 2 mana 3/2 Pirate. Obsidian Smith, Battlecry Dredge. If it's a minion or weapon, give it +1/+1. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to give that 3 stars. This card we have is a free mana spell from the depths. Reduce the cost of your bottom 5 cards in your deck by 3. Then Dredge. Oh, that's not too bad. So you know your next spell, your next Dredge is going to be cheap. The only problem that I have with this is this: how often are you going to Dredge? It seems common keyword wise, but I just don't know. I'm going to give this 2 stars because I'm skeptical. This card we have is a 2 mana spell, Forged in Flame. Destroy your weapon, then draw cards equal to its attack. It's okay. I'm gonna give it 2 stars. I'm not, again, I think I want to keep my weapon if I can. 3 mana, 3/2 weapon, Asherah and Trident, Death Rattle. Put a Sunken Trident on the bottom of your deck. Sunken Trident, after your damage attacks, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. That's amazing. That's such a good card. If you actually manage to dredge this out of your deck, it's so solid. Honestly, just having a weapon in itself is nice. I'm going to give it 3 star. Just having a weapon in itself is nice. I think a warrior was lacking last season. Anyway, 5 mana 5/5 minion, Lady Ashbane, Battlecry. Give all weapons in your hand, deck and battlefield +1/+1. That's alright. That's okay. Stat wise is a bit but actually I think there's going to be a few more weapons this time around, so I think this is actually worth it. I'll give this like a 3 star. Next card we have is a 9 mana 8/9 beast. Trench Stalker, attack 3 different random enemies. I really like it. I think this is actually a really good removal tool, and then you can value trade with it as well and keep it alive. Like you can do a lot of things with this. I'm going to give it 4 stars because I think it's very handy. Next card we have is a 2 mana spell, the Fires of Zin Asherah. Replace a deck with minions that cost 5 or more. They cost 5. Okay. That's interesting. So 5 or more, but they cost 5. Sometimes you like cheap things though. I'm going to give 2.5 stars because I'm a bit skeptical, but it seems like a lot of fun. Honestly, this actually looks like a lot of fun. But it's replace your deck with minions with that cost 5 or more, they cost 5. If it was like replace your minions with minions that cost 5 or more, then I'd be fine. But the fact it's your deck, which means all your weapons and your spells are going to be gone, makes me rate it a bit lower. Next card we have is a 7 mana minion, 5/6, Blackscale Brute, Taunt Battlecry. If you have a weapon equipped, summon a 5/6 Naga with Rush. Wow. That's if you obviously have a weapon equipped. But if you do manage to pull that off, that's actually insane. I'm probably going to give this... The thing is, if you don't have a weapon, it sucks, man. If you do have a weapon, it's so good. I give it 2.5 stars. If you're guaranteed to always get it off, obviously it's like a 4-star card, right? But you're not guaranteed to always get it off. If you're in a top deck war, you don't have a weapon anymore, then yeah, kind of bites you in the bum. Next card we have is a 7 mana 5/5, Nelly, the Great Fresher. +1. So this summons a pirate ship, which is a 5 mana 2/6, Taunt, Death Rattle. Add Nelly's pirate crew to your hand, they cost 1. Alright. And the battle cry is discover 3 pirates to crew Nelly's ship. So you get to like pick the... I like that. That's so cool. So when this dies, they all get added to your hand and they only cost 1 mana. I think that's really fun. It's a great hand filler as well. The stats are really good altogether. This has taunts. I'm going to give this 4 stars. Honestly, the Colossal cards are great. I'm really enjoying them so far. And now we're on to the neutrals. Oh gosh. Sorry. It's late where I am. Alrighty. Next card we have is the Hermit. It's a 1 mana 4/3, but it can't attack. So you have to kind of like silence it. It doesn't have taunt or anything. I'm gonna give it 1 star. Unless you're priest where you silence it, I just don't see the point. Next card we have is a 6 mana 5/4 mech called the Mothership. Rush. Death Rattle summon 2 random mechs that cost 3 or less. I don't know. Very iffy with this. The fact that it has Rush though is kind of nice. But 6 mana? But it summons 2 random mechs cost 3 or less. I'm gonna give this 3 stars. Next card we have is a 2 mana 3/2 Naga, Murkwater Scribe. Battlecry, the next spell you play costs 1 less. The next spell, it doesn't have to be this turn either. That's actually really good. I like this card. Definitely pickable. 3 stars. 2 mana 0/2 Naval Mine. Death Rattle, deal 4 damage to the enemy hero. What a load of crap. 1 star. Like, why? 5 mana 4/3 Warlock Ravager. Battlecry, draw 3 Murlocs. It's great if you have a Murloc deck. Be careful what you fish for. I love the puns. I'm gonna give this... it depends on the class, right? I'm gonna give it 2 stars. Really depends. Next card we have is a 3 mana 3/4 Pufferfist. Pufferfist. These names. After your hero attacks, deal 1 damage to all enemies. That's insane. But hero attacks, so only certain classes, right? A lot of the times this is just gonna be a vanilla 3 mana 3/4, but if you're playing Rogue, Demon Hunter, this is easily going up to 3.5 stars. Really good card. Next card we have is a 2 mana 2/3 Naga, spell damage +1. I think that's decent. 2.5 stars. A lot of times it's just gonna be a 2 mana 2/3, but the spell damage is handy. Next we have is a 3 mana 3/2 Reefwalker, Battlecry and Death Rattle, summon a 1/1 Piranha. So if someone's a 1/1 with it, that's really good. Yeah, I like that. Give it 3 star. Next card we have is a 3 mana 2/4 Sea Scout Operator. Battlecry, if you control a mech, summon 2 2/1 Mecha Fishes. There we go. So if you don't have a mech, it's literally a 3 mana 2/4. But honestly, if you do have, this would be insane with Mage, considering Mage has a lot of mech synergy right now. But I don't know how often this is actually going to be pulled off. I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. That's me being very generous, by the way. I think it should be less. Next card we have is a 2 mana 1/3 mech, Security Automaton. After you summon a mech, gain +1/+1. Oh, that's really cool. Again, may not work out as well though. I'm just going to give it 2 stars. Next card we have is a 4 mana 7/7 Selfish Shellfish. Say that 10 times fast. Death Rattle, your opponent draws 2 cards. What? Wait, is that all? So I get a 4 mana 7/7 and then my opponent just draws 2 cards. That's insane. That is so good. That's a 4-star card, easy. Next card we have is a 1 mana 1/1 Click Clocker, Divine Shield, Battlecry, give a random mech in your hand +1/+1. Oh, we got Argent Squire back though. It's just in the form of a mech, which I actually think is better. I like it. Let's give it 2.5 stars. Yeah. Next one we have is a 3 mana 1/5 Naga, Treasure Guard, Taunt, Death Rattle, draw a card. That's okay, I guess. Drawing a card's not too bad. I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars just because it's just the attack's so low, but it's nice to get a little bit of value there. And honestly, the Naga works with the Naga synergies, right? Next card we have is a 3 mana 2/1 Murloc, Twin Fin Fin Twin. Rush Battlecry, summon a copy of this. Ah, so if you buff this in your hand, this could actually be really annoying. But this is like 4 damage in total, so with Rush effect, with it being Murloc as well, I actually think this is actually quite decent. I'm going to give it a 3-star. Next card we have is a 1 mana 1/3 Naga, Vicious Liver Spear. After you cast a spell, gain +1 attack until your next turn. It's okay. I'll give it 2.5 star. Next card we have is a 6 mana 3/7 Naga, Barbaric Sorceress. Taunt Battlecry, swap the cost of a random spell in each player's hand. Why is this so random? It's not that good, to be honest, because it's really understated for the mana cost. And give it 2 stars. Next card we have is a 5 mana minion, Asherah Sentinel, Taunt Death Rattle, put a Sunken Sentinel on the bottom of your deck. This has Taunt, by the way. 5 mana 5/6 Taunt's already good. And then the one that's being put at the bottom of your deck has Divine Shield, Taunt, and Lifesteal. That's really, really good. If you dredge that out, it's beautiful. I'm going to give this 3 stars. I think it's decent. Next one we have is a legendary, 5 mana legendary called Any Stormcoil. Battlecry, choose a friendly mech, summon a copy of it with Rush, Wind Fury, and Divine Shield. My gosh. That's really fun, actually. There seems to be a lot more mechs than I anticipated, but still the synergy. I'm gonna give 2.5 stars because, again, I don't know. It all depends on the offering rates, right? Like even if you put this effect on like a 3 mana 3/4 mech, I think it's good, and obviously it ups the score in my head. But if you don't have anything, it's a very risky card, I think. Next card we have is a 3 mana 2/4 Smothering Starfish. Battlecry, silence all other minions. I love that. I'm gonna give this a 3 star. I think it's good. It's a great way to get through taunts as well. Just make sure you want the type of class that buffs everything. Next card we have is a 4 mana 5/4 School Teacher. Battlecry, add a 1/1 Naggle into your hand. Discover a spell that costs 3 or less to teach it. Ah! Oh, that's so good! I'm gonna give this 3.5 stars. I actually think this is so good. So you can teach the little Naglin. You can teach it a spell and it'll just like cast it for you. Oh, that's adorable. I love it. Right, next card we have is a Naga Giant. 20 mana, 8/8. Costs 1 less for each mana you spent on spells this game. Costs 1 less for each mana you spent on spells this game. Ah, spent on spells. I was thinking, like, isn't Arcane Giant the same thing? But I realised that's based on how many spells you've cast, not the mana costing of it. Depends, right? I think I'm gonna just give this 2 stars because I don't know how it's gonna work with certain classes. Next card we have is a 5 mana 6/4 Pirate, Gangplank Diver, Dormant 1 turn, Rush, immune while attacking. The fact that the dormants only last in 1 instead of 2 turns is insane. Also, this is immune while attacking, like permanently, not just for 1 turn. Someone told me about this card today and apparently it's game breaking and I can see why. Definitely like 4.5 stars, I think. It's insane. Maybe even 5 stars. I think this card's probably like an instant pick, honestly. I would definitely pick this over a lot of things. So strong. And there's the pirate tag as well. Next card we have is a 3 mana 2/4 Murloc, dormant for 1 turn, Rush, poisonous. Again, insane. 5 star. Same with the other cards, 5 star. Next card we have is a 1 mana 4/1 Beast, Pelican Diver, dormant for 1 turn, Rush. This one I'm actually going to give it a little less. I'm going to give it a 3.5 star, but it's still really, really good. So annoying to deal with. It's so cheap. Next card we have is a 5 mana 5/5 Queen Asherah. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, choose an ancient relic. Ah, this is where this comes from then. Ring of Tides. After you cast a spell, this becomes a copy of it that costs. Wait, after you cast a spell, this becomes a copy of it It costs 1. Okay. Horn of Ancients, add a random colossal minion to your hand. It costs 1, that's really good. It's 3 mana. And then 2 mana weapon, Stalentaft. After you cast a spell, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero and lose 1 durability. That sounds a bit eh. Shuffle 5 random spells into your deck. Set their costs to 1. Draw 2 cards. Ooh, I really like that. This is really fun, but you have to hold this in your hand whilst you've cast 3 spells. So if you have that type of deck, great, but if you don't, a lot of times it's going to be a 5 mana 5/5. I'm going to give this a 2.5 stars just because. I'm sorry, I'm just really skeptical when it comes to synergies. Next card we have is a 7 mana 5/9 Naga. Sliverin, Death Scale, Battlecry. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Again, if it was a 6/9 maybe. Stat-wise it's okay, but it doesn't do much. Like, if you manage to get this off, great, obviously, really good card. But if you don't get it off, then I think it's like a 2.5 star card again. Like, it's not the end of the world if you have to pick it, but it is very sad. Next card you have is a 3 mana 3/4 Naga, Crunchclaw Enforcer, Battlecry. If you cast a spell while holding this, draw a Naga. If you cast a spell while holding this, I think that's alright. It's only 1 spell that's expected from you, right? I think I'll go for 3 stars here. Next card we have is a 4 mana 4/4 Baba Naga. Battlecry. If you cast a spell while holding this, deal 3 damage. I think that's a little bit more durable as well. I think this is a 3-star card. Next card we have is a 4 mana 3/6 Excavation Specialist. Battlecry Dredge. Reduce its cost by 1. That's actually really good. So the card that you're actually going to get next turn is actually going to cost 1 less. I think that's really decent. And stats are good as well. 3 stars. And then you've got the Piranha Swarmer. So you can literally just draft this then. On its own, it's a bit air though. I'm going to give it on its own like a 2 star. Not fussed. Next card we have is a 2 mana 2/3 Amalgam of the Deep. Battlecry, choose a friendly minion. Discover a minion of the same minion type. Oh, I like that. That's really fun. I'm going to give that 3 stars. Is that like a shark with like tusks? Oh. Alright, next card we have is a 1 mana 1/3 Sir Finley Sea Guide. Swap your hand to the bottom of your deck. Ooh. Wait, what if you don't... Ah, right, okay, so it's it swap the number of cards with the cards that are at the bottom of your deck. I don't know, either way this looks really good. If you've played a few of those cards that put stuff at the bottom of your deck, then this is like a nice little switcheroo effect. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I actually think it's really fun. Next card we have is a 4 mana 4/5 Ambassador Phelan. Battlecry, put 3 colossal minions on the bottom of your deck. Damn son, and the stats are actually really good as well. I'm gonna give this 3 stars. It's really good. Next card we have is a 4 mana 2/6 Blade Master Okani. Battlecry, secretly choose to counter the next minion or spell your opponent plays while this is alive. So it has to stay alive. That's the only thing. So you have to play this on an empty board, really. Counter the next spell your opponent plays. Counter the next, and it's like a 50/50 as well. It's okay. I think it's a good way to play mind games, so I'll put like 3 stars to that as well. And the last card we have is a 2 mana 2/3 Tuskar Trawler. Battlecry Dredge. Decent enough, 2.5 stars I'd say. And that is all of the cards. Oh my gosh, my brain. I'm so sorry how long this went on for. You know me, I kind of just blabber. I have a lot of fun with these. But let me know if you disagree with anything. I'm sorry if my speech was a little slurred. I've been really tired recently and I've been sleeping a lot. Because I literally am struggling to stay awake. That's why I haven't been live or posted recently, so I'm really sorry for that. Hopefully my health gets a bit better and I'll be able to post a bit more frequently. But no, I'm really looking forward to this set. I think there's some really fun mechanics in there, and I'm really excited to do my first arena run. But yeah, this is it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. This is Sofa Plays, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.